Hello, my name is Chelsea Bailey, and I'm here today to talk to you about IDEA and the IEP process. Okay, firstly, what is IDEA? IDEA stands for Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, and it was originally created by the U.S. Department of Education, and it ensures that free appropriate education is available to eligible students with disabilities throughout the country. And when it's ensures that they receive the special education services they need and other related services that they may need. The children and the families. So families could also receive support. Um, IDA authorizes grants for states to use in support of those special education services. Okay, and moving on to the IEP process. What is IEP? It is an IEP is a written plan, usually developed by school personnel and the parents of the student, parents or guardians of the student, and it outlines the set of services and support the student will receive throughout a school year, and is updated annually. It outlines the current level of development that the student is in, the annual learning goals that you're striving to reach, the student is striving to reach, accommodations, modifications, related services, and methods for monitoring the student's progress toward reaching these same goals you set. Parent and student involvement is highly recommended in during the IEP process, and you're legally you have legal rights to being there. So, yeah. Uh, when schools and families work together, students' learning outcomes tend to improve with parent involvement. And like I said, they have under the IDEA, parents have the right to participate in meetings related to the evaluation, identification, and educational placement of their child. And parents must be given must give prior written notice. Must be given prior written notice whenever something is changed on the IEP plan of their student. Referral process of the IEP. So the referral process, student has to be referred for evaluation, okay, and usually by someone at the school or by the parent. The parent can also request for evaluation, a form of evaluation, and the parent also must give written informed consent, allowing their child to be evaluated to determine if they have a disability. The evaluation process is basic. It must happen within 60 days of the parent's written consent that they give, and the evaluation is an initial comprehensive individualized assessment in the area of concern. So whatever area of concern is, the student is given a test, and the data from that test is used to develop the IEP plan with the parent and the school personnel. And typically the students are not in the room in the IEP meetings. Eligibility. Students' eligibility for special education services or to get an IEP plan is determined based on if the student has a disability and if that disability affects the student's academic or functional performance where special education service is needed. And the components of the IEP. The first one, it says you present levels of academic achievement and functional performance, summarize the student's abilities in both academic and functional skill areas. The second one is challenging. The IEP must be challenging, ambitious, and the goals must be measurable. So they must be within a specific grade area for that student, and it must be relatable to that student, to that specific student, and it must be measurable. It must be able to take place within a specific time frame. Description of the special education and related services and supplementary services. So it needs description. The IEP must have a description of the services that that student is receiving. Method for measuring and reporting progress. So they must have a method for measuring the goals that the student makes or and the progress they make within a specific amount of time. Okay, an explanation of the extent the student will not be educated with non-disabled students in the general classroom setting. And then it must contain statement of students' participation in state and district-wide assessments. And it must consist of the date of service, initiation, frequency, duration, and the location that this is taking place, that the IEP is taking place.